And once again, I want to say greetings to each and every one of you, Aquaba, and welcome. Welcome to another round of the Conscious Roster Report here on LIB Radio, LIB TV, here on livinginblack.com. My name is Kedio Wadu, aka the Conscious Roster. Weekday mornings, you and I get together live. We come at you from 9 a.m. Pacific Time. That's 12 noon Eastern Time, 5 p.m. BST, and 8 p.m. East Africa time. We gather together with you, and we deal with culture, consciousness, historical perspective. We deal with entertainment, economics, education, health, labor, law, politics, religion, family, conflict, future studies, all areas of human interactivity and development. Today's date is Tuesday. It is the 23rd day of September, 2025 in the Western Gregorian calendar. This corresponds to the year 6266 in the calendar of ancient Kemet 2, which we have realigned our cultural clock. Welcome to the 7th millennium. You have found your family. You have found your family in a peaceful place. A peaceful place. Here on LIB Radio, LIB TV, and livinginblack.com. We are here to lead, we are here to guide, and we are moving towards Ma'at, global order, truth, justice, balance, harmony, reciprocity, order, and propriety. You have your family. Here's what we have on the table for us to study today on LIB Radio. I'm going to introduce the topic, a functional medicine approach to rheumatoid arthritis. Today on libradio.com, many people have come to assume that as we age, we must get used to the pain and suffering from a wide range of disorders, diseases, and that includes arthritic disorders. What can we reasonably do? Reasonably, we thought it out. What can we reasonably do to avoid debilitation from arthritis well into our golden years? Today, we take a functional medicine approach to inflammation-triggered rheumatoid arthritis. Our aim is to avoid drugs and bring forward a natural, holistic solution that really does work. So if you have been dealing with arthritis or are concerned that arthritis might impact you and your golden years, your senior years, today's program is for you. I guarantee you, you will definitely learn a lot today, and you should be quite satisfied with the conversation. So that's what is on the program for today, a functional approach, functional medicine approach to rheumatoid arthritis. And give me a second here. I have to do two things. One, I have to turn off Mr. Gundry. I don't like him at all. Never been a fan of Dr. Gundry. Yeah, he's for sale. His image and his doctorate is for sale, and he makes little, he doesn't try very hard to hide that fact. So here is, and I had to paste in the link to today's program, and the functional medicine approach to rheumatoid arthritis. Now, where are we at? Behind that at, my dad would say. Here's what we're doing. Okay. Let's first of all go into this idea of functional medicine. We've done it a number of times. You heard a lot of our programs in our archives dealing with functional medicine. A functional medicine approach to arthritis emphasizes a holistic understanding of the condition, whatever the condition may be. Focus on the underlying causes rather than just alleviating symptoms, which is what conventional allopathic medicine does. Does not function on finding out what triggered this in the first place. Functional medicine does that, which is why I lean on functional medicine when I'm dealing with my nutrition clients, rather than just alleviating symptoms. This approach integrates various aspects of health, including diet, lifestyle, and environmental factors to create a personalized, holistic treatment plan. To do functional medicine, first stage of it is a comprehensive assessment. And this is what I think I do very, very well. Maybe better than everyone else not everyone else, but most doctors who rely upon technology, the diagnostic technology, who rely upon their knowledge and attendance of what the body is going through, much of which is gained from conferences sponsored by pharmaceutical companies. I've been to a number of these pharmaceutical sponsored conferences as I used to play reggae, for somehow we fell in sync with these pharmaceutical conferences. I think we got calls from our agent who knew that we were very popular at these pharmaceutical conferences. So we got a lot of calls to go to them. At least 5 of them, at least. So the first step is to involve a thorough assessment of the patient's medical history, lifestyle, and environmental exposures. Practitioners often, but not always, utilize advanced lab testing to identify imbalances such as nutrient deficiencies, hormonal imbalances, or inflammatory markers. Next part of functional medicine, very critical, dietary modifications. Nutrition plays a crucial role in managing arthritis. A functional medicine approach typically recommends an anti-inflammatory diet rich in whole plant-based foods. And I emphasize that plant-based, including fruits, vegetables, healthy fats like omega-3 fatty acids, and clean proteins like legumes, lentils, etc. Foods that may trigger inflammation, such as processed sugars, all processed foods, refined carbohydrates, processed vegetable oils, and trans fats, are minimized or completely eliminated. Depends on what your intended outcome is. If your intended outcome is you want to make minimal change but get some positive solutions, then you're going to reduce consumption of the inflammatory foods. But if your intent is like mine, I intend to eliminate, to the very best of my abilities for the rest of my life, these conditions that functional medicine addresses. So therefore, we eliminate the trigger foods. It also includes lifestyle changes, incorporating regular physical activity tailored to the individual's capabilities can help improve joint function and reduce stiffness. Stress management techniques such as mindfulness, yoga, or meditation, or Tai Chi, Qigong, are also emphasized, as stress can exacerbate inflammation. Functional medicine also goes deep into supplementation. Functional medicine practitioners may recommend specific supplements to support joint health, such as glucosamine chondroitin, turmeric, which is curcumin, and omega-3 fatty acids. These supplements can help reduce inflammation and improve joint function. A very critical point of functional medicine is realizing the whole being, the whole body, and that includes our gut function, addressing gut health. A healthy gut microbiome is essential is essential for overall health and can influence inflammation levels. Probiotics and prebiotics may be included to support gut health, as imbalances in gut bacteria can contribute to systemic inflammation. And the next point, collaborative care, cooperating, collaborative. Finally, a functional medicine approach often involves collaboration with other healthcare providers, including nutritionists, physical therapists, mental health professionals, things like acupuncture, aromatherapy, a bunch of different therapies can be included, including thermal therapies, to ensure a comprehensive treatment plan that addresses all aspects, 360 degrees of the patient's health. Again, it is custom tailored to you as an individual. So there's no one size fits all according to this description of what functional medicine is. It is customized for you. We welcome you, our listening audience, to participate today. I'd love to hear from you. If you are in the house, two things. Hit the like button, which I see a couple people have hit the like button, but have not yet identified themselves. And we invite you also, please do hit the like button, and also drop a couple of notes in the chat box. Let us know who you are, where you're listening from. We are on StreamYard. We are up on YouTube today, and we are broadcasting on YouNow. We're broadcasting on the Rumble channel, and we are broadcasting live on Facebook Live video. So do join us. We'd love to hear from you. You know you do matter. I am, because we are. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to take just a moment, and I'm going to go to one of my favorite internet-based researchers. I told you I do not like Dr. Gundry. I used to have a friend who used to send me Dr. Gundry videos all the time. I say, man, please stop sending me this stuff. Please do. And I knew it kind of hurt his feelings a little bit. But that's better than me pretending like I'm going to watch the video. At a certain point, anything that said Dr. Gundry in it, I would just immediately exit. Get rid of it, because it's junk research. Sometimes he's okay, but you know, even a broken clock is right 14 times a week. Let's go forward. I've got one of my favorite voices up on the stage right now. I'm going to add him to the stage. And this is, let me get his name right. Where are we at? Here he is. I'm over here. Here we are. This is Dr. Mark Hyman. Dr. Mark Hyman is very, very good at what he does. He does research really well. So I'm going to take a moment here, and I'm going to rewind this to the beginning, and I'm going to put Dr. Hyman, Mark Hyman, in your ear, and you tell me whether or not he does make sense at what he's talking about. Here we go, Dr. Mark Hyman.
Most important thing is change our diet. Our diet's high in starch and sugar, refined oils. It's full of additives, pesticides, herbicides, emulsifiers, thickeners, additives, sweeteners. I mean, it's a disaster, and it's an inflammation-causing mess. For example, gluten is a huge inflammatory food in our diet because of the way we've changed our wheat production. People go to Europe and they don't react, but in America, the dwarf wheat has way more gluten proteins, way more starch and sugar, so it's way more inflammatory. Ideally, you can get a hold of heirloom gluten foods, farro and triticale and kemet and emmer wheat and einkorn wheat and zeo wheat. I mean, these may be better for you if you don't have celiac disease, and they may not cause the same level of inflammation. Dairy is the other big one, and in my practice, I see it all the time. It creates congestion and digestive issues and allergies and creating acne and generalized inflammation. And then, of course, sugar. Sugar is a huge factor by its effect on laying down belly fat. Adipocytes, which are your fat cells, produce cytokines, these inflammatory molecules that rove around your body, creating basically a wildfire of inflammation. Most important thing is change our diet. Our diet's high in starch and sugar, refined oils. It's full of additives, pesticides, herbicides, emulsifiers, thickeners, additives, sweeteners. I mean, it's a disaster, and it's an inflammation-causing mess. For example,
An inflammation-causing mess. I let that play, I think, 1.5 times because I was fumbling around and I missed it in the beginning. Dr. Mark Hyman is right on. Now, the thing about it is as he was going through this list of triggers for this, I'm in my mind thinking about the average person in America. Those foods he listed, and there are many more. We're going to talk about the foods that trigger this, including processed foods, junk foods, fast foods. They're America's favorite foods. How many of you out there, come on, be honest, have made the statement in public, I have a sweet tooth? Have you ever heard that? I don't have a sweet tooth. I've looked throughout my mouth. I'm looking. I don't see a sweet tooth in there. I do see one of my baby teeth still hanging around 70 years later or 65 years later. But I don't see a sweet tooth in there. I see one cavity fill in there. I'm embarrassed that I had that one, but it's just one. But there is no sweet tooth. You are a sugar addict. You don't have a sweet tooth. You're a sugar addict. If you're a sugar addict, it's quite likely your body is constantly inflamed, chronically inflamed. Now, I like sweetness too. I love my sweetness. But I want to get my sweetness from whole foods like whole dates. I'll get it from some apple cider. I'll get my sweetness from some sugars. Turbinado sugar is one of my favorites. Wild desert honey, raw organic agave. There are some decent sugars out here. But insofar as cookies, pastries, cakes, pies, donuts, no. They're inflammatory. And we know that going in. So from my perspective, I don't drop my defenses, my guard in an instant when the idea of chewing on a sweet, tasty Kruller's cream donut is in front of me. I'm not going to do it. And I advise that you develop your lifestyle so that you avoid all refined sugars except for the ones that I mentioned. Going forward, and there are other good sugars out there. There's rice bran syrup is a good syrup. Corn oil, high fructose corn oil is absolute chaos inside your body. It is absolute chaos. So we're going to go forward. Thank you, Dr. Berg. And let me let the rest of this play. I'm going to let it play the second time. I'll play it from the beginning the second time, all the way through, and then we are going to go on to something else. So, it didn't even play all the way through. Here it is all the way through. Doctor, that wasn't it. Sorry, I had another tab open. I'm going to let it play through one more time from the beginning. Let me unmute it and start it.
Herbicides, emulsifiers, thickeners. Most important thing is change our diet. Our diet's high in starch and sugar, refined oils. It's full of additives, pesticides, herbicides, emulsifiers, thickeners, additives, sweeteners. I mean, it's a disaster, and it's an inflammation-causing mess. For example, gluten is a huge inflammatory food in our diet because of the way we changed our wheat production. People go to Europe and they don't react, but in America, the dwarf wheat has way more gluten proteins, way more starch and sugar, so it's way more inflammatory. Ideally, you can get a hold of heirloom gluten foods, farro and triticale kali and kemet and emmerweed and einkornweed and zeolite. I mean, these may be better for you if you don't have celiac disease, and they may not cause the same level of inflammation. Dairy is the other big one, and in my practice, I see it all the time. It creates congestion and digestive issues and allergies and acne and generalized inflammation. And of course, sugar. Sugar is a huge factor by its effect on laying down belly fat. Adipocytes, which are your fat cells, produce cytokines, these inflammatory molecules that rove around your body, creating basically a wildfire of inflammation. Most important thing is change our diet.
All right. The most important thing is to change our diet. Do you agree with what the good doctor says there? If you do agree, let us know. Give us a like. If nothing else, just hit the like button on today's video. And we will then be able to build on that for our listening audience. So I'm going to hit the like button. I see a couple of other people have hit the like button, but have not yet identified yourself. We'd love to hear from you today. And what do you think about today's conversation? We are talking about a functional medicine approach to rheumatoid arthritis. So checking to see, is anybody checking in the house? Don't see you in the house yet, but we do know that you would, if you could, if you will, but you won't. We'd love to hear from you today. Going forward, the pathogenesis of rheumatoid arthritis. This is a very key critical function of functional medicine, a key critical intention of functional medicine. What caused this? What is the pathogenesis? Pathos meaning disorder or injury. Genesis meaning its origin. What is the origin of this injury? The pathogenesis of rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis is a chronic inflammatory autoimmune disorder. Chronic meaning it's long-lasting, and it doesn't come quickly, it comes slowly. Inflammation is the word inflammatory. Autoimmune means you're inflamed for so long, your immune system kind of flips on you, and now it is attacking your body as well. And a disorder primarily affecting the joints, but it can also have systemic effects. The pathogenesis of rheumatoid arthritis is complex, involves a combination of genetic, environmental, and immunological factors. The genetic factors. Now, you know me, I'm always anytime I'm talking about genetic causation of disease, I'm going to kind of hedge it with an intro that I'm not really into genetics as unique or very influential in causing an individual's disease. All of our genetics are programmed to react against sugar, processed foods, high fructose corn syrup. Everybody's genetics rejects that stuff. Everyone. So therefore, when the geneticists are invited into the party, they will talk about the HLA/DRB1 gene. The strongest genetic association with rheumatoid arthritis is found in the HLA-DRB1 gene, which encodes major histocompatibility complex, class 2 molecule. Certain alleles of this gene increase susceptibility to RA. And when they talked about histocompatibility complex, MHC, a major histocompatibility complex, to me, that indicates that the damage is being done already, and it has to do with, what's it called? Histones? Not histones. I think the word is histones. That this is already happening because of the lifestyle we've been living. So by the time you take these genetic tests, the damage is already there based upon what you've been living. So would the damage show up in our genes? Yes. The genes are the recipient of everything that's epigenetic. The thing to do, can we show that everyone's going to have these genes, So can we show that there are people who these genes never express a variation that leads to rheumatoid arthritis? Yes, we can demonstrate that. And what do these people do to avoid it? Those are the epigenetic environmental factors. And other genetic variants in other genes related to immune function, such as PTPN22 and STAT4, have also been implicated in RA susceptibility. Susceptibility, it doesn't mean RA, rheumatoid arthritis causation. It doesn't say inevitability. Which genes, if these gene scientists are to be taken serious, it should say it is inevitable with the presence or distortion, a factor in these two sets or three sets of genes, say that you are going to get rheumatoid arthritis. Even then, I would say, as the nutritionist who's never invited to that discussion, I would say, well, whatever inevitability they say is going to occur, I'd say your diet will either speed it up or slow it down to the point that you may not notice any rheumatoid arthritis at all. Environmental triggers include infections. Certain infections, particularly viral and bacterial, and viral, I'm not impressed, may trigger the onset of rheumatoid arthritis in genetically predisposed individuals. There's the word genetically again. Genetically predisposed. We're all genetically predisposed. If any of us are, we all are. For example, the Epstein-Barr virus and citrullinated proteins from bacteria can provoke an immune response. Epstein-Barr virus. I'm not even going to go into that. I am not crazy about the idea that viruses trigger these things. Let me just ask you this question. If you disagree, let me just ask you one question. What's the difference between a virus and what's the word? It's part of the vascular communication system. No, extravascular communication. Oh, I had the word in my brain just a second ago. What's the difference between a virus and an exosome? EXOSOME. Type that question in your search engine, and you will understand why I am not crazy about viral causation, especially when viral causation doesn't cause the same disease in all cases and of all exposures the way they say it does. Some of the people exposed to the so-called COVID virus never got any symptoms, never came down with COVID. But some of the people who did come down with COVID, were exposed, did come down with it, but they died of pneumonia. They died of congestive heart failure. They died of myocardial infarction. They died of liver disease, diabetes, a whole bunch of diseases. 29 common disorders were considered to be cofactors with COVID. I'm not making this stuff up. 29. Environmental triggers include smoking. Tobacco smoke is a significant environmental risk factor that can increase the likelihood of developing rheumatoid arthritis, especially in individuals with the HLA-DRB1 risk alleles. And again, going back to the genes, but it ain't about the genes, it's about the cigarettes. You see what I'm saying? Hormonal factors. The high percentage of rheumatoid arthritis in women suggests that hormonal factors may play a role, with fluctuations in estrogen levels potentially influencing disease onset and progression. I think that can and should be considered, but I would say the higher prevalence of I have a sweet tooth syndrome in women, who as I'm thinking back in my memory, women are the only ones I can think of that are dealing with it. I have a client right now that I'm dealing with, and she's got a sweet tooth. And I keep pointing it out. In getting rid of this, I want you to adjust your palate to lessen the sugar. Because I'm not putting a lot of sugar in your food. I'm putting minimal amount on it, and it's always going to be less than what you want, less than what you expect. I'm weaning you off of this sugar. Immunological mechanisms involved in rheumatoid arthritis. The first is autoantibody production. That's autoimmune disorder. In rheumatoid arthritis, the immune system mistakenly targets the body's own tissues, leading to the production of autoantibodies known as rheumatoid factor RF and anti-citrullinated protein antibodies, ACPAs. These antibodies can be detected in the blood and are associated with more severe disease, autoimmune disease. That's what these autoantibody production, that's what it's about, autoimmune disease. Synovial inflammation. The disease is characterized by synovitis, where the synovial membrane becomes inflamed. This inflammation is driven by the infiltration of immune cells, including T cells, B cells, and macrophages, which release pro-inflammatory cytokines or cytokines. Example given: TNF-A, interleukin-1, interleukin-6. Now, I've got to get a clear definition on what synovial membrane that is becoming inflamed is all about. So what I'm going to do is search for synovial membrane. Specialized connective tissue. Yeah, that's what I thought. Synovial meaning a connective tissue that connects all of our body. Ultimately, the synovial membrane is a specialized connective tissue that lines the inner surfaces of synovial joint capsules, tendon sheaths, and bursae. Its primary function is to secrete synovial fluid, which lubricates joints and reduces friction during movement. This membrane plays a crucial role in maintaining joint health and function, preventing the ends of bones from rubbing against each other. Additionally, issues with synovial membrane can lead to joint pain and swelling. So going back to where we saw that definition, it was synovial inflammation, characterized by synovitis. Itis always means inflammation, where the synovial membrane becomes inflamed. This inflammation is driven by the inflammation of immune cells and macrophages, which release pro-inflammatory cytokines. Next, under immunological mechanisms, joint damage. The chronic inflammation leads to the destruction of cartilage and bone, resulting in joint deformities and loss of function. The pannus, a proliferative granulation tissue, invades and erodes the cartilage and bone. So, conclusion. The pathogenesis of rheumatoid arthritis from a functional medicine approach is multifactorial, including a complex interplay between genetic predisposition, environmental triggers of that predisposition, and aberrant immune responses. Understanding these mechanisms is crucial for developing targeted therapies and improving patient outcomes. Let's keep going forward. Let me see if I have anybody joining us in the house on the live chat. Nobody talking to me. What's up? What's up with you? Is anybody in the house today? Talk to me, please. It does work. The chat works. I do see on our YouTube chat We have some commentary. Basu Nefert Ra Sishat in the house. Uja Babakiti and LIB community. I do agree with Dr. Mark Hyman as well, and primarily your teachings on holistic health and livity. I want to be clear. Your teachings, Baba Kiti, are primary. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, and my primary teachings, I will admit, are based upon examining a huge record, which includes people like Dr. Mark Hyman. Dr. Mark Hyman, I did mention, he's one of my favorite researchers because I think he's very honest. And there are a number of others that I refer to. I like to give them credit for the research that they're doing. And when you say that my teachings are primary, it's because you have the patience, my dear, to listen beyond what most people want. Most people want it from a short. And I gave you Dr. Mark Hyman giving it to you in a short. I can give you a 50-minute lecture from Dr. Mark Hyman on this subject and more. So I am kind of the interface between you, the short videos, and a much greater understanding. And also, I do use peer review articles. I do have at least one peer review article pulled up in the background. Or actually, yeah, I'm going to get to that very shortly. Sister Efe, I see you in the house. He says, just tuned in. Great to have you with us today. We are taking a functional medicine approach to rheumatoid arthritis. Do stick with us today because you deserve to have your joints and everything functioning fully well into your 100s. You don't want to be 90 years old and have your fingers all gnarled up, your knees have long left the party, and your hips have been replaced. You don't want to be a bionic hip replacement and all the joint replacement. We don't want to go out like that. So do stick with us, Sister Efe. It's great to have you and Basu Nefert Ra Sishat. Great to have you both in the house. We're going to go next. I have that peer review article pulled up, and it is, I'm going to share the abstract from it. The article is entitled, Improvement of Inflammation and Pain After a 3 Months Exclusion Diet in Rheumatoid Arthritis Patients, written by Maria Teresa Guagnano et al. There were about 8 or so authors on this article. So that's the et al. Part. Maria Teresa Guagnano from Nutrients Journal, October 9, 2021. And here, let me just share this with you all. Hopefully this will fit in one line. And let me double check it. Yeah. Or does it? Gov. Okay, 3536 is the last 3 numbers on it. 3, 4. I think it is fitting all of there. If not, you can just search for it. In fact, here, I just double click that link. And yes, it is not coming all up. So I'm going to post it up once again. I'm going to post it a second time on the Rumble. And here it is. Posted a second time on Rumble. And that link will take you right to it. There was one number missing in the other one. And much thanks, Sister Fa writes, much thanks. Doing all I can to use food intake and natural herbal products for joint pain. Yeah, for joint pain relief. We don't want to just suppress the pain. We want to eliminate the condition. That's why I'm strongly recommending the most the most anti-inflammatory nutrition diet is what I suggest. So going forward with it, I'm going to post this link up here on the Rumble chat. And that's going to take you to the same article. Let me give you the article title as well. and I can paste it without having to suppress the length of it. I can paste it all up on my Facebook page, and everybody knows if you really want to get the links to what we're doing today, we need to go to my Facebook page. So I'm going to paste this up on Facebook one time. I'll paste it up second time. And then I'm going to read to you from the abstract of this particular article. Bear with me, it's worth waiting for, so that you and everyone else can have access to what I am studying, what I am reading as well. So one time, paste it up here, and then we can go with it. All right. This article, reads, improvement of inflammation and pain after 3 months exclusion diet in rheumatoid arthritis patients, again written by Maria Teresa Guagnano in Nutrients Magazine, October 9, 2021. Here's what they have to say. Abstract. Introduction. Rheumatoid arthritis is a chronic systemic autoimmune disease affecting the synovial joints and causing severe disability. Environmental and lifestyle factors, including diet, have been proposed to play a role in the onset and severity of rheumatoid arthritis. Dietary manipulation may help to manage the symptoms of rheumatoid arthritis by lowering inflammation and potentially decreasing pain. The methods of the study: in 40 patients with long-standing rheumatoid arthritis with stable symptoms and treated with conventional and biological disease-modifying anti-rheumatic drugs, DMARDs, the effect of a 3-month diet avoiding meat, gluten, and lactose, all dairy products, privative diet, was evaluated in comparison with a control balanced diet, including those foods. Both were randomly assigned to one of the diets. Both diets were designed to reduce weight since all patients were overweight or obese. I'm going to repeat that sentence. It's very important. Both diets were designed to reduce weight since all patients were overweight or obese. Patients were randomly assigned to one of the diets, and RA was clinically assessed at time 0 through the visual analog scale for pain and the disease activity score of 28 joints for RA activity. Patients were also administered the short form health survey and the health assessment questionnaire. At T0, a blood sample was collected for laboratory tests and adipokines measurements, and anthropometric measurements were compared. These evaluations were repeated at the end of the 3 months dietary regime. So when they talk about at T0, that's the commitments of the study. And then once again at the end of 3 months. Results: a significant decrease in VAS, visual analog scale, and the improvement of the overall state of physical and mental health assessed through SF36, that's a short form survey, was observed in patients assigned to the privative diet. The privative diet meaning the exclusion diet. Both dietary regimes resulted in the improvement of quality of life compared to baseline values. However, the change was significant only for the privative diet. With either diet, patients showed significant decreases in body weight and body mass index, with a reduction in waist and hip circumference and lower basal glucose and circulating leptin levels. A privative diet was also able to significantly reduce systolic and diastolic arterial pressure. the number of circulating leukocytes and neutrophils and the levels of C-reactive protein also decreased after 3 months of the meat, lactose, and gluten-free diet. Now, all of those indicators were all one way. The privative diet, the exclusive diet, gave improvements all across the board. Waist size, waist, hips, circumference, body weight, body mass index, all of the above. Conclusions. Our results suggest that a privative diet, excluding meat, lactose, and gluten-free, so that's meat, dairy, and sugar-free or gluten-free, that diet worked miracles. Our results suggest that a privative diet resulted in a better control of inflammation in rheumatoid arthritis patients under stable, optimized drug treatment. Now, next, we're going to go into the topic of foods that may trigger or worsen your arthritis symptoms. So write this down. This is where you want to get this list. Primarily, these foods they trigger this by inflammation. So these are pro-inflammatory foods. Number one, sweetened drinks and added sugars. Sugary beverages like soda, juice, and sweet tea, as well as foods and added sugars, including high fructose corn syrup, sucrose, and fructose, can trigger inflammation and are linked to increased risk of obesity, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease, all associated with chronic inflammation. 2. These foods can cause rapid blood sugar spikes and stimulate the release of inflammatory cytokines. 3. Processed and fried foods, and that too is actually part of number one. Processed and fried foods. These often contain trans fats, which are known to trigger systemic inflammation and are linked to heart disease. Fried foods also contain advanced glycation in products, AGEs, AGES, which form when food is cooked at high temperatures and can trigger inflammatory pathways. And here, let me do one thing. Okay, next, refined carbohydrates. White bread, white rice, white potatoes, and many cereals are high glycemic index foods that can spike blood sugar and contribute to inflammation through the production of advanced glycation in products. Next, red meat and processed meats. High in saturated fats and omega-6 fatty acids. These foods are associated with increased levels of inflammatory markers, interleukin-6, C-reactive protein, and homocysteine. And next on this list, it just keeps getting better, people. Oh, processed meats, it goes further. Processed meats like bacon, sausages, and hot dogs are particularly problematic due to the added preservatives and salt. The next is unhealthy vegetable oils. Oils high in omega-6 fatty acids such as corn, safflower, sunflower, soy, and vegetable oil are pro-inflammatory when consumed in excess and can disrupt the balance with anti-inflammatory omega-3s. Next on the list, alcohol. While moderate consumption of certain types, like red wine, may or may not, have anti-inflammatory properties due to antioxidants. Excessive alcohol can trigger gout, flares, and disrupt gut bacteria balance, particularly contributing to chronic inflammation. High-fat dairy products. Full-fat dairy items like butter, cheese, cream are high in saturated fats and advanced glycation end products, which may act as inflammation triggers. Gluten and casein. For individuals with sensitivities or celiac disease, gluten found in wheat, barley, and rye, and casein found in dairy may worsen joint pain and inflammation, though this is not universally applicable. There are some people who can digest these foods, process these foods. That is true. But most of the planet, after weaning, after being a child, after weaning, become lactose intolerant. MSG, monosodium glutamate. This flavor enhancer, commonly found in prepared Asian foods, soy sauce, and processed snacks, may trigger inflammation in sensitive individuals. And number 10, the last category, nightshade vegetables. Tomatoes, potatoes, peppers, and eggplant contain solanine and capsaicin. Solanine and capsaicin, which some people believe can trigger inflammation, though scientific evidence remains inconclusive. And that whole nightshades category, understand some people do apparently have sensitivities to nightshades, but most people don't. And now we have to ask the question, why the difference? So that was from one search, and I did the search a second time. And I'm going to share this search, foods that trigger inflammation. Certain foods can exacerbate arthritis symptoms for some individuals. Here's a list of foods that are commonly reported to trigger arthritis flare-ups. Number 1, processed foods. These often contain unhealthy fats and additives that can promote inflammation. Number 2, sugary foods and beverages. High sugar intake can lead to increased inflammation and pain. Number 3, refined carbohydrates. White bread, pastries, donuts, and other refined carbs can spike blood sugar levels and contribute to inflammation. Red and processed meats. These can contain high levels of saturated fats and advanced glycation end products, AGEs, which may worsen inflammation. So bear with me here as I highlight these in my report and I'll go forward. Okay, continuing. Dairy products. Some people with arthritis find that dairy can trigger symptoms possibly due to lactose or casein. Fried foods. Foods cooked in unhealthy oils. Bear with me. Foods cooked in unhealthy oils can increase inflammation. Alcohol. Excessive alcohol consumption, and to me, any alcohol is excessive. Also, according to the American Cancer Society, any alcohol, any alcohol is excessive. And again, that's the Cancer Society, so you know what that means. So, and lastly, nightshade vegetables. Some individuals report sensitivity to nightshades like tomatoes, potatoes, and eggplants. Although this varies from person to person, it's important to note that reactions to food can be, it's important to note that reaction to foods can vary widely among individuals with arthritis. Keeping a food diary to help identify specific triggers for your symptoms. If you are considering a dietary changes, consulting with a healthcare professional or a registered dietitian can provide personalized solutions. And I do agree. Dietary solutions are very, very critical, and you should have a qualified professional on your team. Now, here is a list of foods that are considered beneficial for combating arthritis. Ranked from the most impactful to those that are still helpful but may have a lesser effect. The first are foods high in omega-3 fatty acids, which reduces inflammation and joint pain. Next category is leafy greens, including spinach, kale, Swiss chard. These are rich in antioxidants and vitamins that combat inflammation. Leafy greens. The third category, nuts and seeds, walnuts, flax seeds, chia seeds. These provide omega-3 fatty acids and healthy fats that do help reduce inflammation. Next up, berries, including blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. These are packed with antioxidants that fight inflammation and oxidative stress. Next up, olive oil, Popeye's girlfriend. Extra virgin olive oil contains oleocanthal, which has anti-inflammatory properties similar to non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, NSAIDs. Next on the list, whole grains, such as brown rice or wild rice, quinoa, oats. These are high in fiber, which can help reduce inflammation and improve gut health. Cruciferous vegetables, including broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower. These contain sulforaphane, which will help to reduce inflammation. Next on the list, legumes, lentils, chickpeas, black beans, high in fiber and protein, which can help reduce inflammation. Today I am fixing for my client split pea soup, another wonderful legume with a lot of healthy qualities to it. Turmeric, curcumin, the active component in turmeric, known for its anti-inflammatory properties, often used in cooking. It's also turmeric, the curcumin is found in curry. And I'm making a curried dish today that's going to be wonderfully healthy with lentils and with curry with chickpeas. It's got raw sunflowers in it. It is my guacamole. My hummus is the best hummus in the world. It's been ratified and clarified by Dr. Gabriel Cousins. So garlic and onions, the last one on our list, garlic, shallots, onions, contain compounds that will help reduce inflammation and boost the immune system. Incorporating these foods into your diet can help manage arthritic symptoms and improve overall health. It's also beneficial to maintain a balanced diet. So next on the list, another list is the list of foods that are the most anti-inflammatory foods to include in the diet. Let me take a moment here and see if anybody is talking to me, because we love hearing from you. Um, Sister FA in the house, I had to decode this a little bit. She says, we'll check out this link. Anti-inflammatory food intake. I don't like the word, she says duet. I think she meant diet, as it is a 4-letter word. Yeah, duet is a 4-letter word, but diet is a worse 4-letter word. I think that's what she was meaning. And Basu Randa, are you still in the house? You still talking to me? I have her in the house, and she's not talking right now, but I know she is listening, and that's what we do really well. Anybody else out there? Hit the like button. We have a number of listeners. What if everybody who's listening right now actually hit the like button and let the algorithm know, hey, there weren't a lot of us, but every one of us was in complete and total synchronization with what our good Brother Kitty, was talking about. Can everybody, including those of you who never have hit the like button, can I convince you to do so right now? I'll find out in just a second. There's 1/3 of the people like the video. I guess we could say maybe 1 or 2 or more don't like it, because if you hit the down button, it actually takes one away from the thumbs up button. Let's hear from you today. Going forward, an anti-inflammatory diet rich in specific foods can help manage arthritic symptoms, reduce inflammation, and potentially lower the risk of developing or worsening arthritis conditions such as rheumatoid arthritis and osteoarthritis. The Mediterranean diet, which emphasizes whole foods and healthy fats, is frequently recommended for its anti-inflammatory benefits. I would say the living superfood diet is the Mediterranean diet grown up. Mediterranean diet is a big change over the standard American diet, SAD. It is a big improvement over SAD, but it is not a healing diet. Functional medicine demands that we have a healing diet. Number 1, fatty or oily fish. I'm not going to recommend that, such as salmon, tuna, sardines, herring, and anchovies are excellent sources of omega-3 fatty acids, which help reduce inflammatory proteins like C-reactive protein and interleukin-6. Consuming fish twice a week or taking fish oil supplements may ease joint pain, swelling, and morning stiffness, particularly in rheumatoid arthritis. Well, I contend you would be best to get your omega-3 fatty acids from category number 2, which is nuts and seeds, including walnuts, almonds, pistachios, flax seeds, hemp seeds, macadamia nuts, all of the oily nuts. These are high in omega-3s. Pecan's another one. Vitamin B6 and monounsaturated fats, all of which have anti-inflammatory properties. In fact, I'll put cocoa nuts in this list as well. Let me type that in. Cocoa nuts and macadamia and hemp and flax seeds. So nuts and seeds, including walnuts, almonds, pistachios, coconuts, and macadamia nuts, and hemp and flax seeds, are high in omega-3s, vitamin B6, and monounsaturated fats, all of which have anti-inflammatory properties. Eating about 1.5 ounces daily may lower the risk of inflammatory diseases and promote satiety, aiding in weight management, which is crucial for reducing joint stress. That's right. colorful fruits and vegetables are rich in antioxidants, vitamins, and phytonutrients that combat inflammation. Berries like blueberries, raspberries, blackberries contain anthocyanins, which have anti-inflammatory effects. Citrus fruits, strawberries, kiwi, and cantaloupe provide vitamin C, which supports joint health and may help prevent inflammatory arthritis. Dark leafy greens such as spinach, kale, and broccoli are high in vitamins K and beta carotene and vitamin C, and antioxidants, all contributing to reduced inflammation. Yep, that is true. Whole grains like brown rice, quinoa, oats, and bulgur wheat provide fiber that helps lower C-reactive protein levels and supports a healthy weight, though individuals with gluten sensitivity or celiac disease should avoid gluten-containing grains. Refined carbohydrates and added sugars will be limited or eliminated, as they will trigger inflammatory cytokines and worsen inflammation. Olive oil, especially virgin cold-pressed olive oil, contains oleocanthal, a compound with anti-inflammatory effects similar to ibuprofen and heart-healthy fats. Using 2 to 3 tablespoons daily in cooking or dressings can support using 2 to 3 tablespoons daily in cooking or dressings can support joint health and cardiovascular health. Avocado and walnut oils are also beneficial, with walnut oil offering a high plant-based omega-3 content. Next, beans, such as kidney, pinto, and black beans, are rich in fiber, protein, and antioxidants that can help lower the CRP, C-reactive protein, and support muscle and joint health. Include about 1 cup twice a week is recommended. Beans, what a joyous fruit. The more you eat, the more you get lower C-reactive protein levels. You thought I was going to say something else. Spices like turmeric and ginger have potent anti-inflammatory properties. Curcumin in turmeric blocks inflammatory cytokines and enzymes, leading to long-term improvement in joint disease. Ginger extract has similar effects to non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs and can reduce pain and swelling in osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis. Next, green tea. Green tea contains polyphenols and epigallocatechin 3 gallate, EGCG, which reduce inflammation and may slow cartilage breakdown, supporting joint health. Drinking green tea regularly, either hot or iced, is a simple way to incorporate these benefits. And next, low-fat dairy products like yogurt provide calcium and vitamin D, which strengthen bones and may or may not reduce arthritis-related pain. Now, every other recommendation we've had and shared today says do not consume dairy products. Let's say non-dairy dairy. I'm going to change that to non-dairy dairy. Non-dairy dairy products, meaning things like organic soy milk, almond milk, coconut milk, rice milk, non-dairy dairy products, including yogurt, non-dairy, provide calcium and vitamin D, which strengthen bones and may reduce arthritis-related pain. Vitamin D deficiency has been linked to an increased risk of both osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis. So ensuring adequate intake of vitamin D through sunlight, fortified foods, or supplements is important. Now there's another one here. It says, while nightshade vegetables, example given tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, are nutrient dense and generally beneficial, some individuals report symptom relief when avoiding them. Though scientific evidence does not support a direct link to arthritis flares, a trial elimination diet may be considered if symptoms worsen after consumption. And we did talk a little bit earlier about the elimination diet that had proven itself to be valuable in the group of 60, mostly women, that had gone through it. So I think we did a good job today. I'm going to wrap it up for right now. I'm going to prepare food for my client. And if you are in need of a program, a plan, that you want to eliminate these things, then why not contact your brother? I do see Brother Gus is in the chat on Rumble. I see you in the house, Brother Gus. He writes, sounds like the perennial message of Dr. Sebi. Excessive inflammation is the root cause of all diseases. Keep up the good teaching. And thank you, Brother Gus. Thank you for bringing up Dr. Sebi's name in this discussion. I was looking at Dr. Sebi's work just this morning in preparing for this today. I have a chapter in my book talking about sickle cell. The book is called Living Superfood Solutions. And I have a chapter in here which deals with a superfood solutions to sickle cell. And in that sickle cell disease, it is, what chapter is this? The chapter is entitled Sickle Cell Disease from page 214. I do include Dr. Sebi's favorite healing herbs and things. And I have a couple of quotes here. To heal sickle cell anemia, we must cleanse and revitalize the body with natural herbs and an alkaline diet. The body has the ability to heal itself when given the right foods. Mucus is the cause of every disease. Eliminate the mucus and you eliminate the disease. This is true for sickle cell anemia as well. Dr. Sebi. And for Dr. Sebi and for all of us who have dealt with these conditions successfully, we salute you for the great work that you have committed to. If anybody needs help, if you need help to overcome the symptoms of arthritis, please text me at 702-580-0662. Again, text me only before you call, and I will do the best I can to help you put together a plan to be able to rid your body of this debilitating disease disorder. I'm pretty good at this. I've been doing this for quite some time now, and we're good at it, but we're constantly studying. You're witnessing today how I constantly study more and more on these topics. So I want to thank you all for all you do for your brother. I am wonderfully grateful. And for all of you who did chime in today to share your thoughts, your words with us, you are greatly, greatly appreciated. So on that note, there's a couple of links I'm trying to put into here. And Well, you got it. You got it. So thank you all for all you do, for all of us, and I do the best I can for all of you on your favorite. We aim to be your favorite. We are LIB Radio. We are LIB TV. We are living in black.com. So on that note, I think we got it all in today. I'm pretty sure we did. I encourage each of you to do your part. I think personally we all could be doing better. We could be doing a lot better. So I'm going to encourage each of you to do your part to help get the word out. Spread the word that we have real workable solutions now. And these real workable solutions, it can eliminate or minimize a whole lot of the unnecessary suffering that we are doing to ourselves because of old habits that we instilled, these old habits when we were unconscious, totally unaware of the direct connection between nutrition and the illnesses that we would go through. So now we know better. Now we can do better. On your favorite, we aim to be your favorite. We are LMB Radio, LMB TV, living in black.com. Wish you all peace and prosperity. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be right back in this seat once again. Peace and prosperity to each and every one of you.